Every sunrise at Heartland carries a story of love, of loss, and of second chances. The camera glides gently over the golden fields of Alberta as the early morning sun rises behind the familiar hills. Horses graze quietly near the fence line, their breath visible in the crisp air. The sound of the wind whispers through the tall grass, a sound every Heartland fan knows by heart, peaceful, timeless. And full of memory, a soft piano begins to play as the narrator's voice cuts through the silence, steady, calm yet filled with emotion. Voiceover after 18 seasons of joy and heartbreak. Heartland stands at the edge of a new beginning. Amy Fleming has grown stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. Her bond with the horse is unbroken. Her heart tested, but still open to love. She's learned to heal others. While still learning how to heal herself, we see a series of emotional shots, Amy brushing a horse's mane, Jack watching her with a proud but thoughtful look, Tim riding across the pasture, the ranch alive with quiet purpose. The visuals are warm and nostalgic, reminding the audience of what makes Heartland so special. It's not just a ranch, it's a home built on hope. Voiceover continues. Jack Bartlett has seen it all, the laughter, the loss, and the legacy of a family that never gave up. He knows that every challenge comes with a lesson, and every goodbye leaves behind a reason to keep going. But even for Jack, the weight of time is starting to show. The background music deepens, building a faint feeling of tension under the calm. The screen fades to a montage of Heartland's iconic moments: the barn, the family table, the endless fields. Voiceover Heartland has always been about finding strength when life gets hard. It's where every scar tells a story, where every fall teaches you how to get back up. And now, as season 19 begins to rise over the horizon, something new is waiting. Something that will test the family's bond more than ever before. The narrator speaks. We see Amy looking out toward the horizon, her eyes reflecting both peace and uncertainty. A storm cloud drifts in the distance, not just weather, but a symbol. The music pauses for a moment of silence. The wind picks up. A horse neighs sharply, breaking the calm. Voiceover, because in Heartland, peace never lasts forever. A heartbeat sound echoes, soft but powerful. On-screen text, Heartland Season 19, the calm before the storm. The music returns, stronger, more cinematic, hinting at change. The ranch, the family, future, all standing on the edge of something new. The screen flickers softly to life. Black and white clips of Amy as a young girl fade into color, showing her first moments at Heartland. The tone is nostalgic. It's almost like flipping through a family album that has been touched by both joy and pain. Voiceover. Every story has roots, and Heartland's roots run deep. It began with a young girl, a horse in need, and a dream too strong to fade. Amy Fleming learned early that healing doesn't come easy. It takes courage, patience, and love. The kind that holds on even when the world falls apart. We see quick flashes, Ty leading a horse through the rain, Lou balancing her career with motherhood, Jack offering quiet wisdom under the old barn light. These memories aren't just scenes. They are the pieces that built the soul of Heartland. Voiceover continues over the years. They face storms that could have broken them, losing loved ones, rebuilding the ranch, learning to forgive the past. But every trial has made them stronger. Every tear has watered the ground that keeps Heartland alive. The visuals slow down to show Amy and Lindy in the field, their hands resting on the same horse's neck. A symbolic passing of strength, one generation guiding the next. Voiceover. This ranch isn't just land. It's the story of a family that refuses to give up, where every goodbye leads to a new beginning and every ending carries a whisper of hope. A soft guitar joins the piano now, a familiar sound that brings warmth and comfort. The rhythm feels like the heartbeat of the ranch itself. The narrator's tone shifts, becoming more reflective. Voiceover, as we look back, we see how far they've come. Jack, the heart that keeps them grounded. Lou, the dreamer who never stops pushing forward. Tim, the father who fights his demons one day at a time. And Amy, the light that keeps shining, even through the darkest nights. Cut to a slow-motion scene of Amy riding through a field, the wind in her hair, her eyes full of determination. The camera pans upward. Following her horse as it leaps across a creek, a visual echo of every challenge overcome. Voiceover. Heartland isn't just a show about horses. It's a story about people, about finding your way when the path disappears. About family, love, and the courage to start again. The music swells as the final line lands. Voiceover, they've faced their past. They've healed their wounds. But in season 19, the hardest ride is still ahead. The screen fades to black for a moment, leaving only the sound of a horse galloping in the distance. On-screen text. The journey so far, only the beginning. The silence, after the galloping, fades into the sound of thunder rolling in the distance. The camera pans across the ranch, clouds stretching low over the mountains, a storm gathering. But beneath that darkness, there's light breaking through the sky. Like hope refusing to fade, voiceover every sunrise at Heartland brings a new story. But this time, the horizon looks different. The winds have changed and the family can feel it. A season of peace is ending, and a new challenge is riding in fast. Cut to Amy walking across the barnyard, her boots crunching against the gravel. There's something in her eyes, strength mixed with worry. A young horse kicks in its pen, restless and wild. Amy approaches slowly, calm but focused, the way only she can. Voiceover continues. Amy has faced every kind of storm, heartbreak, loss, and the weight of legacy. But season 19 will test her in a way she's never known before. A new horse arrives untamed, unpredictable, and carrying a past that mirrors her own. To heal this one, Amy must first confront the pieces of herself she's kept hidden. The visuals quick cut between moments of quiet tension, Lou on a phone call looking frustrated, Jack repairing the old fence as the wind whips around him, and Tim standing at the ranch gate staring into the open land as if searching for something he's lost. Voiceover. The world beyond Heartland is changing too. Lou's facing decisions that could pull her away from the ranch. Jack's trying to protect what's left of his legacy. And Tim, still fighting the ghosts that refuse to let him go. Change is coming, and no one can outrun it forever. The music begins to rise, a mix of cello and drums, steady and powerful. The tone becomes more intense. Carrying the pulse of something big approaching, voiceover new faces will arrive at the ranch. Some will bring hope. Others will bring trouble. But every visitor carries a reason. Every secret has a cost. And as the season unfolds, the truth will ride closer than ever before. The visuals now flash in quick bursts, a new family pulling up to the ranch. Amy, shouting over the rain, a horse breaking free. Lou, holding a letter with trembling hands. Voiceover. Heartland has always been about healing, but healing doesn't come without pain. And this time, even the strongest hearts might break before they can mend. The storm finally breaks. Rain pours across the fields, lightning flashing in the distance. Through it all, Amy rides, pushing through the storm. Her silhouette framed against the wild sky, voiceover soft. Determined because, sometimes to find where you belong, you have to face what you've been running from. The scene fades to the Heartland logo glowing faintly in the rain, followed by the soft echo of thunder. On-screen text Heartland Season 19, Every Storm. Has a reason the storm clouds fade into morning light. The ranch is still wet from rain, the fields glistening with silver drops. A new day has begun. The camera drifts through familiar places, the kitchen table, old barn, the porch where stories have been told 1,000 times. You can almost feel the heartbeat of Heartland in every frame. Voiceover, when the storms pass, what remains is family. Through every loss, every laugh, and every long night, Heartland has been more than a ranch. It's a promise. A promise that no one stands alone. The music softens, gentle acoustic guitar with faint strings in the background. The tone is hopeful, comforting, and honest. Amy sits on the porch steps, brushing Lindy's hair as the little girl giggles. Jack leans against the railing nearby, his eyes kind and knowing. Lou walks by, carrying 2 cups of coffee, setting one next to Jack without a word. It's these small gestures that speak louder than anything else. Voiceover continues. This is where life happens in the quiet moments. The shared looks, the unspoken understanding, the strength that comes from simply being there. The world outside may change, but the heart of Heartland stays the same. A flashback cuts through Amy and ties laughter in the early days, a memory soaked in golden light. It fades into Amy alone in the barn, her hand resting on Ty's old saddle. She takes a deep breath, not in sorrow, but in gratitude. Voiceover, she's learned that love doesn't leave when someone's gone. It stays in every hoofprint, every sunrise, every lesson passed on to the next generation. Lindy is growing fast, with her father's courage and her mother's heart. And Amy, she's learning how to be both strong and soft. How to lead with love, not fear. The camera pans over Lou's office, papers scattered, her phone buzzing. She pauses, looking out the window at the ranch. A quiet moment of reflection. Voiceover Lou carries the weight of two worlds, her family and her future. But even she knows that no dream is worth chasing if it means losing where you came from. He's in the stables, brushing one of the horses. The light hits his face just right, lined with years, but alive with wisdom. Voiceover and Jack, the heart that never stops beating for this land. He's seen every chapter of this story, and still, he believes that family isn't about blood. It's about those who stay, those who fight, and those who love without condition. The music swells slightly hopeful and proud. The visuals return to the dinner table. Everyone is there, Amy, Lou, Tim, Lindy. Jack, laughter fills the air. Voiceover, no matter how far they drift or how hard they fall, they always find their way back here to the place where love began. This is the heart of Heartland. The scene fades to the glow of the sunset behind the ranch. Horses galloping freely across the open field. On-screen text. Heartland. Season 19 family. Faith forever. The screen opens in silence. The light is soft, dawn breaking over the ranch, mist floating above the fields. The horses move slowly, their shapes ghost-like in the fog. The air feels still, as if the world is holding its breath. Voiceover and Heartland. Love is never simple. It heals, but it also hurts. It gives you wings, but sometimes it breaks them too. Every smile here hides a scar, and every heart carries a story it's not ready to tell. We see Amy standing alone by the fence, her hair blowing in the wind. She looks toward the distance, not searching for someone, but remembering. A memory of Ty flashes laughter in the snow, a soft glance, the warmth of a hand once held. The image fades, but the feeling stays. Voiceover continues. She's learned that grief doesn't fade. It changes shape. It becomes part of you. But love, true love, doesn't end. It finds new ways to live. In the horses she heals. In the daughter she's raising. In the family that still stands beside her. A gentle, emotional piano melody begins. Slow, intimate. Lou walks into the barn, stopping beside Amy. They don't speak. They don't need to. The silence says everything. Voiceover Lou knows loss too, not always from death, but from distance. From growing up, moving on, chasing something more. She's built a life outside these fences, but her heart still beats for the home that built her. Cut to Jack sitting on the porch with an old photo album. He flips through pictures, young Marion, Amy as a baby, the ranch through the years. His fingers pause on one photograph, a younger Jack, smiling beside his late wife. He closes the book gently, eyes glistening but calm. Voiceover Jack's legacy isn't the land or the fences. It's the people he's raised, the lives he's shaped, and the love that refuses to die. He's lived through enough to know that the ones we lose never really leave us. They live in every choice we make. Every path we take. The camera shows Lindy running through the pasture, laughing freely. Amy watches from afar, her eyes full of emotion, the perfect mix of pride and sorrow. Voiceover, she is the proof that love never ends. That from every heartbreak comes a new beginning. That even when the world changes, the heart remembers. The music swells into a slow crescendo. Scenes of the family fade in and out. Dinner laughter, a hug in the barn. Jack raising his hat under the evening sky. Voiceover in Heartland, every generation carries the next. Every dream planted here grows into something bigger than one life. That's the legacy of this place, not just the land, but the love that keeps it alive. Piano fades into silence. The camera pans upward, the ranch bathed in golden light, the sun rising behind the mountains. On-screen text Heartland Season 19, Love Never Leaves. The wind howls through the open plains. The ranch sits in stillness, its fences trembling against the coming gusts. The skies are heavy, gray, and full of warning. But this storm isn't just in the sky, it's brewing inside each of them. Voiceover sometimes. The hardest battles aren't fought on the land, they're fought in the heart. At Heartland, silence can speak louder than words, and every calm smile can hide a storm waiting to break. The music begins, low, tense, pulsing softly beneath the narration. Cut to Lou pacing in her office, papers scattered, her voice raised in frustration during a phone call. Her reflection in the glass shows not anger, but fear of losing control. Voiceover continues. Lou has always been the anchor, steady, driven, unshaken. But even anchors can crack under pressure. This season, she'll face a choice that could change everything she's built. Her career, her family, and her place at Heartland. Fade to Tim, standing alone in the dark stables. Rain drips through the roof. He grips the saddle, staring at it as if it holds every mistake he's ever made. Voiceover. Tim has always run from his past, but the past has a way of catching up. Old wounds will open, and forgiveness won't come easy. Because before he can be the father he wants to be, he'll have to face the man he used to be. The camera cuts to Amy. She's training the wild new horse. But this time, it's different. The horse bucks. Her voice shakes. She steps back, breath trembling, voice over in Amy, the healer of others. For the first time, her strength will be tested, not by loss, but by fear. Fear that maybe this time she won't be able to fix what's broken. Not in the horse, and not in herself. The music grows heavier. Drums join the strings, slow and deliberate. Like thunder rolling across the hills, the montage intensifies. Jack slamming a barn door shut during the rain. Lou breaking down in her truck. Amy walking out into the storm, her boots sinking into mud. Tim shouting into the wind, a lifetime of regret in his voice. Voiceover, every family has cracks. But it's what they do when the pieces start to fall that defines them. In Season 19, every hidden truth will rise to the surface. Every heart will be tested. And not all of them will make it through unscarred. The storm outside becomes a mirror of the storm within. Flashes of lightning cut across faces, revealing pain, fear, and defiance. Voiceover, quieter now. Almost a whisper, because sometimes the storm isn't there to destroy you. It's there to show you what's worth saving. The camera slows. Amy standing in the rain, soaked but unbroken. Her eyes close, and she whispers something we can't hear. The thunder fades into silence. On-screen text, Heartland, Season 19, The Strongest Hearts. Face the hardest storms. The final note lingers, haunting, powerful and full of promise. The screen fades from black to the soft glow of sunrise. The storm is gone. The land glistens, wet and golden as sunlight stretches over the hills. A single bird sings in the distance. The ranch stands silent, worn, but unbroken. Voiceover, every storm ends. And when the clouds clear, what's left is not what was lost, but what was found. Heartland has weathered another trial, and once again, it rises, stronger, braver, and more alive than ever. The music begins, gentle piano layered with strings, a melody that feels like morning itself. The tone shifts from sorrow to renewal. Amy steps outside, her boots sinking into the soft earth. The light catches her face, tired, but full of quiet peace. Lindy runs up to her, laughing, arms open wide. Amy kneels, embracing her daughter as the camera circles them, the wind lifting their hair like a whisper of hope. Voiceover continues. Out of the hardest nights come the brightest mornings. Amy has faced her fears and found her strength again, not in being unbreakable, but in choosing to keep going. She's learned that healing isn't about forgetting. It's about remembering how to live. Cut to Jack walking through the barn, his hands sliding along the wooden beams. He stops to look at a new foal resting beside its mother. His expression softens into pride, not just for the horse, but for the family that's grown around him. Voiceover Jack knows that time moves on, but love never fades. It only changes shape, passing from one generation to the next, like the light that never leaves these fields. The camera pans to Luz standing on the porch, phone in hand. She takes a deep breath, smiles, and sets it aside. For once, she chooses the moment over the noise. The sound of laughter from inside pulls her back, family calling her home. Voiceover. Lou has finally found her balance, learning that success isn't measured by what you build, but by who you build it with. The family gathers outside. Amy, Lou, Jack, Tim, and Lindy, the golden light wrapping around them like a promise. Horses graze in the background. The storm may have changed them, but it didn't break them. It made them whole again. Voiceover in the end. That's what Heartland has always been. Not a place, but a feeling. A reminder that no matter how far we fall, there's always a way back home. The music swells, a full orchestra now, rich and emotional. Quick flashes, Amy riding again with confidence, Jack smiling under the open sky, Lou hugging her daughter. Lindy's laughter echoing through the fields. Voiceover final lines, this is Heartland, where the past meets the future, and every ending is just a new beginning. The story continues. One heartbeat, one ride. One sunrise at a time. Screen fades slowly to the Heartland logo. Glowing against the dawn, on-screen text Heartland Season 19, the story lives on. Coming soon. The final note lingers. Warm, emotional, timeless.